Welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. I got to tell you, I'm kind of excited about all this football talk. I know it's April, but I'm starting to miss it. It feels like we just got rid of football, and like the day after the Super Bowl, you're not missing it. And then about a month goes by, and you start to get an itch, and like, when's the draft? And what's going on in free agency? And, now I can't wait for August to roll around already. And just to make it a little worse, we now have the rumors that are getting louder about the possibility of the Chiefs moving here. A couple of news bits on that. Number one is that the Chiefs, or Kansas City, actually turned down the proposal to build a new bazillion-dollar stadium for the Chiefs. I hear Arrowhead, it looks great on TV, but I hear it's a dump. I hear bad things about it. Whatever, I don't know. And then the other piece of news is from our sister station. Clayton Neville had an interview with the mayor this morning, so it sounds like he is serious. Let's bring in Clayton Neville to talk about it. Thanks for being on the James Show, Clayton. I listened to the whole interview, and it sounds like this isn't a conversation. These are plans that are being negotiated.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And I asked Mayor Eric Johnson, James, I said, have you spoken with the Hunt family? The Hunts, of course, own the Kansas City Chiefs, and they're a strong name in Dallas. Lamar Hunt and everything goes along with the Hunt name there. And he said, well, I can't comment whether or not. And to me, I said, well, I guess that means yes. You have talked to him.
Right.
And he couldn't confirm or deny that. But, yeah, he didn't just tweet that out of nowhere. We can go ahead and get that out of the way right now. And the first thing he said to me when I walked in, I said, Mayor, thanks for doing this. This is a fun story. And he said, it's really not fun. This is business. And I quickly realized that it wasn't just a tweet. This is something that he is thinking about, and he is literally proposing in his mind and now out loud. What if this Metroplex was home to both the Kansas City Chiefs and the Dallas Cowboys? In our conversation, we talked about how Jerry Jones would respond to that, but then he went into specifics about Hensley Field in South Dallas and how that would be the proposed stadium site and practice facility. He said in the interview that that area could house a better complex or more modern complex than the Star and Jerry World. So they've got a proposal in mind, at least. Now they just need somebody to come and propose the money to go behind it.
Now, can't Jerry Jones kill this deal? Don't new franchises or big moves like this have to be voted on by the owners, and Jerry could kill it?
There are a lot of specifics like that are yet to be determined, but the mayor said in response to that he wasn't sure about that, but he doesn't think that Jerry Jones, in theory, would reject it because he said that Jerry Jones welcomes competition. The mayor said that Jerry Jones that he knows would find ways to allow it to benefit him, which it certainly could in the economy overall. So the mayor is saying, let's not all assume that Jerry Jones is against this. I haven't talked to Jerry Jones specifically. Not sure if the mayor had either. He wouldn't say, but the idea is there could be economic benefits for the Cowboys, too, just in the massive growth of the Metroplex.
Well, I've heard rumors through, not just my friends, but through the media, that Jerry Jones has squashed ideas of a franchise going to San Antonio because it would draw so much away from the fan base of the Dallas Cowboys. Wouldn't that make another franchise in Dallas a non-starter for this guy? Maybe he's just playing nice for the media because he doesn't want to look like some sort of tyrant that's squashing development. But really, that couldn't be good for him.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if the economic impact of a team in San Antonio would trickle all the way up here or not. If there was another one in Dallas and you had everybody marketing North Texas as Chiefs, Cowboys, and, all that kind of stuff, would Jerry find ways to make money off of that here? It's possible. So maybe there's more opportunities with it being down the road. But let's hear from Jerry Jones next. We've heard from the mayor now. We know he has an idea. And so what would Jerry say to this? Also, though, the Hunts, would they be open to this? The Chiefs, let's not forget, just won the Super Bowl twice. So I don't know if they're anxious to get out of there or not. The stadium deal is part of this too. But then again, the mayor in our conversation talks about just an expansion team in general possibilities as well, with the idea of Hensley Field in South Dallas being the site.
Well, the political side of me is just hearing another politician who wants to have a project where he can allocate the spending of $2 or $3 billion. Convince the skeptical me that we really need to be spending taxpayer money to get another NFL team in Dallas.
Well, just as far as this Metroplex compared to others, where priorities are when it comes to sports, everybody varies on that one. But when you think about the numbers in this growing Metroplex, we're talking 8 million in this area now. That automatically, that puts us up there with the New Yorks, with the LAs, with the cities who have multiple teams in the same sport. So just based on that, I think that we could pull it off just on the numbers alone.
That's so impressive. One thing that makes me think this could happen is they've also had talks, and we're in the echoes of the talks, where they've talked about a new sports complex to include maybe the Stars and the Mavs and maybe Clayton Neville, maybe a casino. So I think all of these are kind of swirling around in the same tornado. There is a big want for a development, a big project for these people to spend money on.
Well, as this Metroplex takes shape, there's a couple things that are driving it. One would be the sports industry, and then the other, like the semiconductor industry. Those two combined, when I talk to all these officials like the mayor, they're starting to transition from that fun sports face to that game face of, hey, there's big-time money here. When you think about North Texas now, every city has a thing. Every region has a thing. Sports and economy, that's our thing here, and it's only growing.
Here's what I like about it. If Dallas has another team, what happens? Every year, we double our chances of winning a Super Bowl. I think that might be the most convincing argument, is we double our odds of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Patrick Mahomes, I think he has a house in Dallas. He's a Texas guy. He would come.
He does. Yeah, he's from the same hometown as me over in East Texas. Here's another question, Clayton Neville. The Dallas mayor cheekily tweeted out, hey, welcome home. You're welcome back, Dallas Texans. They used to be here. They were the Dallas Texans. However, if they come back, they can't take their name back. It's been co-opted by Houston. So what would they be? Would they still be the Chiefs or something else?
Yeah, you know what? That I don't know. The way that the mayor talked about it, he kept referring to them as the Chiefs. I guess it would be up to, the Hunts if they wanted to rebrand or not. Not sure we're quite there yet, but it's certainly fun to speculate on that. If anything, this has generated some conversation about, can Dallas handle two teams? And all signs point to the possibility of yes down the line.
I also think it would be kind of cool if Dallas had a team and Fort Worth had a team. Any chance Fort Worth is in the mix?
I haven't heard that. Fort Worth is growing pretty massively too, though, so I would absolutely not rule it out down the line.
All right, so coming up next, I'm going to play you a couple clips from Clayton Neville's interview with the mayor this morning, the Dallas mayor, Eric Johnson, and then I want to hear from you. Your thoughts. Does Dallas need another team? Does it need another team if and only if we don't spend billions and billions of dollars of taxpayer money on a sports complex that's just going to be considered obsolete in 20 years, like the AAC and the original Globe Life Field? Oh, by the way, great job on the interview, Clayton. And thanks for putting it up on the website so I could go get it.
Yep, no problem, James. Appreciate it.
That's Clayton Neville. Does the morning show with Laura over on our sister station, KLIF. Let me play a couple clips from Clayton's interview this morning, then I want to hear from you on your thoughts of another NFL team coming to the Dallas area, or actually specifically Dallas. 800-288-9227.
I think there's a deal to be had there, but I'll be even more specific to show you that I'm not just sort of talking theoretically here. I believe that we, and I say we, I mean the city of Dallas, right now would be in a position to negotiate with the Chiefs organization to build a sports complex that would be the envy of the entire world and would be the best in the NFL at Hensley Field in Dallas. I think that the Chiefs organization could have a stadium and a headquarters that would exceed, that would be more impressive than Jerry World and the Star right in the city of Dallas. And I think that deal can be done.
Ooh, all right. So now that sort of puts me, that rubs me the wrong way, because this sounds like a mayor foaming at the mouth to have a $2 billion spending project to where he gets to allocate where that money goes and who gets jobs and who gets appointed to what. And this is a great opportunity to pay off donors, and it's corrupt and you never get your return on investment. And it's generally the distasteful part about professional sports in my view. I love professional sports. I love football, but I don't love spending $2 billion of taxpayer money being promised that it's going to, it'll pay itself off, and it never does. I mean, these things, and it's not impossible to have a privately funded stadium. There are 4 stadiums that the NFL uses that are completely privately funded. They just built the one in New York. So if New York City can have a privately funded stadium,
New York City,
Dallas can. And if y'all tell me that it's going to be a privately funded stadium, sports complex, whatever, we're going to have some, just investors and not taxpayers behind this, I'm for it. That really is my deciding factor. Here's Eric Johnson again, the other clip.
There's some combination of incentives and things that could be done that makes sense for a city and potentially even a county to participate in, where we'd see the long-range benefit of the economic development in exchange for the upfront incentives. In the case of Hensley Field, the reason why I say that specifically is that is a 700-acre wholly owned site that is breathtakingly beautiful, and I would argue that you could put together a deal with Hensley Field and the Chiefs that would blow out of the water anything else that I've seen in the NFL, including Jerry World and including the Star. And it would be a mutually beneficial deal for everyone. And it could be structured in a way that I believe, and I think the environment in North Texas would be enhanced for football in a way that the Cowboys looked at the economics and the Jones family looked at the economics and everybody else and said, I don't see how we lose here. I think we all come out net winners here.
Well, I think the only way we can say that is if we don't have taxpayers behind it. If we have to spend a couple $2 billion to build this stadium, that is a loss. That is a funneling of resources away from these other more efficient endeavors into a place that they don't belong. And who are we subsidizing here? The billionaire owners, the millionaire players, the super wealthy cohort of people who actually get to go to awesome stadium games all the time and have the expensive good season tickets down on the lower level, going to the clubs or sitting in the suites. It's not common lunchbox Joe. If we go to a game, we're sitting in the 300s hanging from the rafters with a nosebleed. Ken in Arlington, you're on the James Show. What do you think about the Dallas getting possibly another NFL team?
No, because the Arlington taxpayers got screwed with promises made by Mayor Cluck, and that was his name, but I used another name that rhymes with it, and Jerry Jones promising a world-class football team. No, you got a world-class stadium with a junior high school football team.
Well, look, they got to the second round of the playoffs. You don't have to be that negative. But the idea that the stadiums and the subsidies from the taxpayers on these stadiums ever pays itself off has been shown to be economists agree. Like, even economists who you would think would be in favor of things like this can admit that, look, if you're spending this money, this is just for PR purposes. You're not getting the economic benefit. You're not getting a return, and all the people that come to the stadium and the new tax revenue that you build up, it's not going to pay off the $640 million that the taxpayers of Arlington had to put up in bonds. That's a non-starter. Now, if you tell the taxpayers you're going to spend all this money and you're going to get nothing in return except have the Cowboys be down the street, and if that's good enough for you, it counts for something. The name Arlington is on TV all the time when they do the flyovers of the stadium. They're doing flyovers of Arlington. You're paying for PR, but you're not getting your money back on any of those. So I feel like almost the exact same way, Ken. Let's go to Chris, also in Arlington. You're on the James Show on News Talk 820 AM, now on 93.3 FM WBAP. What do you think?
Oh, well, I don't think there's any way that the state of Missouri is going to let the Chiefs leave after what the NFL did to the St. Louis Rams and forced them back into L.A. because L.A. needed they needed an NFL team back in L.A. I think a city like St. Louis would try to swallow them up. And another thing, too, is like the other morning on your news, Dallas is broke. Dallas doesn't have any money. They've already taken all the money from the police and the firefighters and all that, to where I don't know where Dallas would even get the money to do what this guy's, planning anyway.
Oh, well, Chris, let's say that there are 4 stadiums in the NFL that are privately funded. What if Dallas is going to get the 5th one and it's not going to cost the taxpayers anything? Would that change your mind?
Man, I don't know. I'm paying for this stadium here.
Right. You don't care. You're in Arlington. You're screwed either way. Good stuff. All right, thank you, sir. Josh in Grapevine, you're on the James Show, News Talk 820 AM, now 93.3 FM WBAP. What do you think?
Yeah, James, I had two points I wanted to make. Three really. One, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
But two, I think the taxpayer should have a right. If there's a proposition, at the end of the day, they should get to say yay or nay. But I also agree with your previous caller. I mean, Dallas is broke. It would be a vote for them to raise their own taxes on themselves, but they've done that in Arlington, so maybe it's not implausible. But the other thing I have to say is maybe this is a bait and switch thing where really they're just trying to fire up the people in Kansas because they're turning down their proposition, and maybe the fear of losing this team is going to kick them into gear because these politicians that lose a Super Bowl winning team like this, their careers in Kansas City are probably over.
Yeah, I've thought that. You've thought that. The guy listening to us has thought that. Maybe we're just being a bargaining chip. I feel that all the way. You might be right, Josh and Grapevine. Yeah, I really think the public funding is the determining factor on that. Another common thread I'm getting with people hanging up on hold is that Jerry Jones, there's no way he would allow this. Yeah, I don't see him allowing it either. They're saying, well, we could schedule it, we can arrange it so it'd be mutually beneficial for. No, splitting your home market in half or losing any significant chunk of fans to another team, and we're going to go to the Dallas Texans game instead of the Cowboys game. That's a loss for Jerry Jones. CJ says on Facebook, no, we have enough teams, enough drama, and this player that wrecked Saturday money or not, he needs to be punished. Solid point there. More wide receivers on the road. It's not necessarily good for Dallas public safety. Bob over on Facebook says, only if it lights a fire under Jerry to start putting a better product out there. Oh, I like that. This is News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.